call please, Zach.
Stacy,
Here.
Zinni,
Here.
Knogle,
Here.
Curran,
Here.
Nunn here, McMaster,
Here.
Forbes,
Here.
Mumsmeyer.
Here.
We have four.
Fantastic, thank you. We will stand please for the Pledge of Allegiance, followed by the invocation given by Pastor Stacy Wilson, GC First Assembly of God. I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
I'm Stacy Wilson from GC First Assembly of God here in Granite City. Father, I thank you for the men and women who serve our community by being a part of this board, and I thank you for the men and women who serve as teachers and administration. I thank you for all of the people who stepped up to be willing to drive buses for us to get us back going the way we need to be. And Lord, I just pray that you would continue to have your hand over this community and on this school board and this school district. Lord, give them wisdom as they make decisions and help us to continue to grow and to be leaders in our area for education. And I just pray your blessings over them. In your name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Pastor. Thank you.
Thank you.
Very nice. First item tonight on the agenda is public comment. Do we have anyone here to say anything? Any comment? Oh, Stephanie, presentation.
Hi, at this time, we'd really like to recognize the Granite City High School vocational team. If you guys could come up, we'd appreciate Mr. Depew, the high school principal as well. With a lineup. So he can give us all Sorry. And to read some of it, but most of it. This time, we just need to recognize the fact that the award is presented to the state of Illinois, correct? I'm gonna let Mr. Rand handle some of this because he's the assistant principal at the high school, and he does handle most of the grant in the vocational program for the high school. If you would introduce everybody first.
Certainly, my name is Tim Moran, assistant principal. This is Billy Laycock, our department head. Mark Jones, our vocational welding teacher, and Mr. Depew, our building principal.
Do you want to kind of take it from there first?
Certainly. I would got a phone call about 3 weeks ago from our systems director, who oversees our county funding and our grants. And he told us we've been nominated for the award for the Technology Education Association of Illinois. And as it unfolded, we were nominated and received the program of the year for vocational.
For the state.
Through statewide, yes. And so 2 weeks ago, Billy Laycock and I went to Bloomington and accepted the award on behalf of our department. And one of the things we want to make sure we express to the board is a continued support. Program's been in place for years, and we're very fortunate to have a foundation that our guys can continue to keep that going. And one of the things that's the most impressive when we are there is when you talk to other people, other administrators, other teachers, and we realize how lucky we are to have the support from the board, to be able to have our classes and the opportunities for our kids, because a lot of these schools that we think are above us are not. So we're very fortunate to have what we have. So thank you for all your support.
I just want to tell them thank you again, because when you go to the high school and you see kids and they're always talking, you can see these guys out in the hall. Mr. Depew's always in the hall, but for good reason. But you know the robotics team, Mr. Jones, you've done volunteer program and volunteer work too. They're ingrained as part of the high school. It's very important to make that point, because the kids are really dedicated to the programs they're in. And I just want to say that the award was an acknowledgement, I want to use the actual wording from the state, for a superior technology education program, which provides fundamental knowledge about the development of technology, its effect on people, the environment and culture, and draws its instructional contents from one or more of the following systems: communication, energy utilization, production, manufacturing, and transportation. So it's incredible, this honor, to be honored as one of the best in the whole state. And I think Mr. Rand said it correctly. We don't underestimate us, right? Don't underestimate right. GC. Yep. We do a great job, and these guys are a representation of what we can do, what our kids can do. So I know it's a small little plaque, but we put something together for you that recognizes your achievement. because it really is a big deal, and we're just really proud and thankful to have teachers like you and principals and administrators as well, so. Give it up. Thank you so much. Thanks, everyone.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Congratulations, great job, guys, we appreciate it. Keep it up. And now more than ever, I think we need it, right?
Oh, my gosh.
With, the jobs that are needed out there, so thank you so much for the job. Appreciate
So
that.
good.
We do have several that will, address the board in executive session tonight, so we'll take care of that later on. And at this point, I'll move to item 5, the minutes, which is approval of the October, 26th board meeting minutes.
So moved. Second.
Motion and a second, any discussion? Roll call, please.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knoble,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn, I, McMaster,
Aye.
Stacy,
Same.
Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. Item number 6, consent agenda. Items here, we can pull any of those out if anyone wants to talk about one thing, otherwise we'll take a motion to approve them all.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second, and just want to call to mind here, the cloth masks, you want to talk about that were donated?
Oh, yes, we had a person donate over 2,000 cloth masks to one of our schools. I mean, it's difficult for the younger ones to keep masks on, we're running through them a little bit like water, but it's important that we do that, and we provide them to the schools. But having the cloth masks, some of the kids are better about keeping those on and keeping them clean, but anything that the community wants to give us, we're just so happy to receive and for our kids, so we want to thank them for that.
Very good. Got a motion and a second, any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Knoble,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn, I, McMaster, Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. Item number 8, retirements and resignations.
Mr. President, the board, it is recommended that the following retirements be accepted. I'm kind of sad about this one too. Bruce Spring, GCSD9 health teacher, retirement end of 26-27 school year, so we still have him.
He also taught me the rules of the road, so you can thank him for my.
I don't mind going in the car with you.
I'm an excellent driver.
Oh, there we go then.
I'll second.
Thanks, Mr. Frank.
He was my simulator teacher.
Oh, that's not as scary, right?
Do you have a motion and a second? Zach, you get those? Okay.
Yep.
Any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn, I, McMaster, Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knoble,
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. Item number 8B, request for leave of absence.
It is recommended that the following leave be approved. Diana Carnefeld, effective 12/20/21 to 3/14/22.
So moved.
Second.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Nunn, I, McMaster,
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knoble,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. Item 8C, employment of a paraprofessional for the Coolidge Junior High School for the 21-22 school year.
Mr. President, the board has recommended that Zoe Jackson be approved for employment for the paraprofessional position at Coolidge Junior High School for the remainder of the 21-22 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Motion and a second. Any discussion? Roll call, please.
McMaster,
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knoble,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn, I, Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. Item 8D, approval of certified and classified substitutes for the 21-22 school year.
I'm very happy about these. Mr. President, the board has recommended that the following applicants be board approved as substitutes for the 21-22 school year. Certified Carla Delgado and classified Jonathan Britt and John Millian, and we thank you very much.
Absolutely.
So moved.
Second.
Second by Tower.
Any discussion? Roll call.
Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Abstain.
Knoble,
Aye.
Curran,
Aye.
Nunn, I, McMaster,
Aye.
Wilmsmeyer.
Aye. Item 8E, Granite City High School extracurriculars for the 21-22 school year.
The Granite City High School Administration and Board Administration is recommending that Ashley Rishi be approved for the extracurricular position of Assistant Girls Basketball Coach for the 21-22 school year.
So moved.
Second.
Who gets that one?
Linda can have it.
I'll give it to Linda.
Thank you.
I'll get some more later, don't worry.
Any discussion? Roll call, please.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knogle,
Aye.
Kern,
Aye.
Nunn, I, McMasters, Stacy,
Aye.
Womsmeyer.
Aye. Item 8F, elementary extracurriculars for the 21-22 school year.
Mr. President, the Board Administration recommends Carly Valencia to be approved for the elementary extracurricular lunch duty position for the remainder of 21-22 school year.
So moved. Second?
Any discussion? Roll call.
Knogle,
Aye.
Kern,
Aye.
Nunn, I, McMasters,
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Womsmeyer.
Aye. No old business, new business, under item 10, ratify the actions of the Region 1 Board.
We're gonna call for Mickey Watkins, our Director of Special Ed, to comment on this.
The actions of the Region 1 Board, what we did was we asked to expand upon our current contract with Maxim Healthcare Services. We currently had a contract, just a contract with them for nursing services, for one-on-one nurses. In speaking with them, we found out that they are also offering opportunities for speech-language pathologists, occupational therapists, and so on. So we were just asking to be able to contract with them for their full scope of services, trying to be proactive with the number of leaves of absences that we have, or if somebody should have to be out for an extended period of time, that we would have access to someone a little more quickly than just trying to find a regular fill-in for that. So we did ask for the approval to contract with them for their full scope, and the Region 1 Board did approve that action.
It is recommended that the Board ratify the actions of the Region 1 Board in regards to item 1.
So
And
moved.
what,
Oh, sorry.
no, that's all right, please, go ahead.
So moved.
Wait a second.
Seconds.
To
Yes.
clarify, this is not replacing or outsourcing any jobs, this is for like
No.
substitution things.
Yes.
Absolutely.
And what services today are they providing to the district?
Currently, it is just a one-on-one nursing for students who require one-on-one nurses to attend school. They actually have speech therapists, occupational therapists, physical therapists, audiologists, down the line for healthcare services mostly. They also do have one-on-one healthcare aides, also known as a paraprofessional if we should need one. But I just wanted to make sure that we were proactive in having an opportunity to get someone sooner rather than later to remain compliant with the IEPs.
Because we have been in situations this year that we've not been able to find people to fill those positions, so this gives us another alternative to find someone that we need.
Yes.
Very good backup, thank you, appreciate that. We do have a motion and a second, any other discussion? Roll call, please.
Kern,
Aye.
Nunn, I, McMasters,
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knogle,
Aye.
Womsmeyer.
Aye, thank you, Ms. Watkins, appreciate it. Item number 10B is consideration of the tax levy resolution and truth and taxation hearing for the 2021 taxes collected in 2022.
Zach, Mr. Sherry, do you want to start that one out?
Yeah, this is just setting the hearing for the December 14th board meeting at 6 p.m. And to let you guys know that we are exceeding 105% of last year's ask. We do not anticipate this changing taxes or the tax rate one iota. If anything, it may decrease it a little, but any change would be negligible. We're not expecting any change to tax rate. We are not raising taxes that amount. We're saying EAV is going up that amount, which is equalized assessed valuation. We're trying to capture some of the warehouses and things that have fallen off in TIFs to hopefully lower the tax rate.
Yes,
Perfect.
And this just sets the hearing.
and publish in the newspaper.
And to publish in the newspaper, we'll do all those things.
And to
that we
publish in the
expect.
newspaper.
Right.
We
So moved.
appreciate that, Mr. Surrey. Thank you.
Got a motion by Bill,
Second.
second by Erica. Any other discussion by anyone? Again, we're just doing those couple of things tonight. We're not actually voting on this. We're just allowing allowing the public hearing to happen on December 14th and to publish it in the newspaper.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I will be there on the 14th and have a presentation.
Very good.
We're looking forward to that.
I think Eric's super excited.
We're pumped. Okay, roll call, please.
Nunn, I, McMasters,
Aye.
Stacy,
Aye.
Vinnie,
Aye.
Knogle,
Aye.
Kern,
Aye.
Womsmeyer.
Aye. Item number 11A, reports and other communication.
Mr. President of the Board, we've received 2 requests under the Freedom of Information Act during the period of October 20th, 21 through November 1st of 2021. The first request was received on October 21st, 21 from Vince SB News at locallabs.com. He requested the following information: electronic records of any contracts and documents relating to business with Panorama Education, specifically a copy of the signed contract with Panorama, a list of all payments made to Panorama, copies of all materials used by Panorama and training curriculum per contract, and a list of all teachers and classes who have been exposed or instructed to Panorama materials. The second request was received on October 27, 2021 from Marcel Kentre. He requested the following information: copies of the most recent transportation RFP and beverage RFP documents. These requests were handled by our administration.
And thank you for handling them. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Mitchell.
We don't need a vote or anything on that one. Item number 11B is Director of Technology, report on the digital grant, Brad Smith.
Brad, I'll just give him a heads up that this is through the SF program, and it is the digital relief grant. And last year we received over $300,000 for that. We found out that it's actually renewed. So Brad, take it away.
Yeah, so as Ms. Can said, this is the digital equity grant, and a little bit of background is it's to assist school districts in closing the digital divide, and allow school districts to focus on one-to-one devices and the additional tools needed for students to utilize digital learning. As a prerequisite to the grant application, I completed a detailed survey that covered topics such as home and district connectivity, devices and network equipment, as well as data privacy and cybersecurity. The survey is then reviewed by the Learning Technology Center of Illinois and ISB. So we have been very fortunate for the second year in a row to participate in this grant. So, and we plan to apply for the funding, or we have applied for funding, and we plan to apply the funding to hotspots over a 3-year period, which will assist with students in closing the digital divide. The funding from this grant, as Stephanie mentioned, is $307,000, and we are just waiting for final approval from ISB.
Thank you, Mr. Smith. I just want to say how proud I am of this team. I'm going to talk about the next one in a minute too, and how much they have worked towards getting grant money for the district. It's been great, so we'll go to the next one. Thank you, Mr. Smith.
That's super. Appreciate it. Good job. Thanks for all your work.
You're welcome.
Item 11C is Executive Director of Education Operations and AEP, Dr. Keel, will report on the TAOEP grant. That's got to stand for something really cool.
Truant, do you want to say what it stands for? I'll introduce
Yes,
you.
it's the Truant's Alternative and Optional Education Program.
Easy
So,
for you to say.
what I want to, you can come on up, but what I want to say first is that, you know, Dr. Keel came and we usually get a certain amount for this. We've gotten for years, $60-some-odd-thousand. He's like, you know what, maybe we could bump this up, enter the old alt ed, the new alt ed program that they're doing, and he pretty much took the lead on all this, and you can take it away now, because I'm so proud.
Yeah, thank you, Ms.
Excited.
Cam. In the fall of 2017, just a brief synopsis, I did ask the school board to approve a night school program and an alternative day school program, because the one thing, I was the assistant principal at the high school at the time. Mr. Depew, Mr. Moran, and I had several conversations about increasing attendance and graduation rates, all those types of things. And we knew that we had a lot of different learners who needed to learn differently, and we needed different programs for those students. And we're very proud of the fact that we did start the night school program. I did fill out the application, but I needed approval first in order to get the application, in order to get some money. But the program was small, so the money we got was small. We got $67,000 a year for the last 3 years. This is the 4th year of the night school program, and the 3rd year for the alternative day school program. I will say Bill and Linda should remember that, because they voted to approve the night school program, and I thank you again for that. We did get $67,000 a year for those first 3 years, but this year I added the program that Dr. Harris has at Lake School, and we have the alternative day school program. We've expanded the night school program as well. And so now we have $282,000 for the grant. So that's a big
Every
jump
3 years.
for this year and the next 2 years. So that's close to $1 million,
Almost
which
$1
is
million.
far different than than $180,000 that we
Right.
got. So we're really excited about that. And I will say that I've never ever mentioned the night school program without mentioning Steve Mathis, Chris Hutchings, and Christy Mode, who have done a wonderful job with that program. We have 103 students in that program right now. I am going to give a presentation in January on the night school and the alternative day school program. But to Linda and Bill, who voted for that, we've graduated already in 3 years, like 94 kids in the night school program. And so we've got 103 kids in there now. We've probably got another 70 kids at the alternative day school program, and Darren's probably got 40 of them. So it's a big percentage of Darren's program that, number one, we get the money for those kids for staying in school.
Yes.
So that's huge. And then, but again, it helps. The graduation rate has gone up, the attendance has gone up, so it really has helped in a lot of factors. A lot of our teachers in the night school program are still there that started in the inception. We've also gained teachers from other school districts who have started off in our night school program that wanted to teach in the Granite City School District, but they started teaching there even though they were in Hazelwood and some of those other places. And so then they ended up getting full-time jobs teaching here in the district when those positions opened up. So that's been wonderful. And now one of those teachers is the coordinator who's replaced Chris Hutchings. So she was just a part-time teacher who taught full-time at Hazelwood and then wanted to come here. She came here, she teaches full-time at the high school and is a coordinator in that program as well. And it's getting her type 75 to be an administrator. So all those things are, it really is a grooming process for some of that as well. So we're very excited about that, super excited. Ms. Ken and I were in her office, and I told her, I said, man, I got an email. I think I got about 80% of what I was asking for. And so we found out together, and I didn't want to tell her the number, but we were both excited. It was close to $300,000 a year for the next 3 years, so we're very, very excited about that. And we're expanding the program, so we're doing some other things. We're going to be able to offer another class for the high school. We're going to offer, hopefully hire another science teacher for the alternative day school program, and doing some really good things there, and bringing a work study program, co-op program that we've been wanting to do, Dr. Harris and me, and so we're going to figure out a way to do that, and it's really growing, and it's been successful, and I think it was the right move then, and it will continue to grow, and I think it benefits kids, and that's the most important thing. It really, really has benefited kids, so very
Kids we
excited
might
about
have
it.
otherwise lost. I think that, kids at work or have other issues, we're addressing the needs of our kids where they are. And so I applaud you all for making that decision, and now it's just growing, and it really is helping a lot of students right now, so.
And that individual attention that they get in night school too, when they need it, is there.
And that's the thing is, the students in the night school program, they have, their classes are in the evening, and they go from 4 to 9:15, Monday through Thursday. And their classes are an hour and 45 minutes. So we don't offer anything like that, unless you're in the elementary, grade level. But, so if you have a class an hour and 45 minutes, the teacher has plenty of time to teach it, has plenty of time for you to work on it yourself, and if you have questions, you have time to ask questions and to get feedback and answers. So it really is a great program. There's a lot of benefits to it. We have a lot of students, as Ms. Can said, that do have to work in this community, and it's admirable that these kids will go to work and they'll go to school. But sometimes it's difficult, and so if you get off at Taco Bell at 1 o'clock in the morning and you try to come to school at first hour and you're always late and you get an F for it, well, you can go to the night school program and you can work there during the day, and then you can get credit for your job. So you're actually, the thing that you're doing is actually helping you graduate also. So it's just a really good program. It really, really is. So I look forward to sharing a whole lot more about that with you guys in January, because we're going to have a ton of information on that and the day school program.
I mean, I just think about how much money that just brought into the district, just by him taking that chance and writing for that, is really a big deal. And I went up to the night school a couple of times, and they actually make a real effort. It's above the cafeteria, and there's, Granite City emblems and lights. I mean, Christy Mode in particular, they really try to make it a great atmosphere for those kids too, so they feel a part of the school.
And they go to homecoming, they go to prom,
yes.
they do all those things. So and they feel, because they're part of Granite City High School, and we say that all the time.
And
How many of us took night school classes when you were in college?
Oh, yeah.
So, and sometimes it just works with your schedule. And, we do have some students that are parents that graduated because it works out for their babysitting. And so it's a different opportunity for different types of learners and different types of needs being met.
Just really proud of the program. Great job, everybody. Good job.
Dr. Keel and Brad Smith, both, I want to thank you,
Yes.
because going out and going for these grants, because if it weren't for the two of you writing those and going through that process, we wouldn't be sitting here in terms of additional dollars coming into the district, saving the taxpayers money and everything, so thank you for doing that. And one last question, because these 94 kids that have graduated from night school, what are the chances that they would have gotten a degree or graduated at all at some point without it?
Yeah, and that's, I hate to say slim to none and Slim just left town, but it would be similar to that because again, a lot of times these students are, they have fallen behind because they do have work or they do have extenuating circumstances at home that keep them from that. So it's the numbers are mind-boggling, and we have a lot of that data as far as the number of classes and credits that they've taken before they started the night school program and since they started the night school program. And it's just a completely different.
Night and day.
It is night and day. But a lot of those, some of those students, we will have to say that, number one, and there's some misconceptions out there, but we have so many smart kids in that program.
Yes.
So many smart kids in that program. Because some kids just don't want to go to school with 1,800 other kids.
Right.
Some students just have anxiety. Some people just want a smaller, they want a smaller field. Some people go to smaller colleges. It's the same concept. It really, really is. So we have students that, and some of them have been behind. The very first year, we had two students, Darren and I know this, that, we had two students that hadn't been in high school for 2 years. And they were just about to turn 21. Both of those students just needed 1 semester of classes. And both of those students called and reached out to me because they heard about, me starting this program. All I did was start it and everybody else did the rest of the hard work. But they reached out to me and said, hey, can I be a part of this program? I only have a few classes left to take. And I said, absolutely. And we've had students like that. We've had some great success stories like that. Students who haven't been in 2 years, they just needed a couple classes. And we don't ask why. We don't care. As Ken and I have always said, we don't care. We just want you to graduate. We want you to be a productive member and be able to go to the next step in life. And that program really has done that for those 94 students. And it will be over 100 here in just another month because we have, I think, another 14 or 15 or 18 on track right now to graduate in December, and more than that to graduate on track in May.
Wonderful.
So
Our job is to educate kids and to get them to be productive members and finish, and it's.
And offer different ways for that to happen.
Times.
So, because everybody learns differently, and we have really done that with these two programs. We really, really have.
David, it would be wonderful if we could track some of these kids after they graduate. That
Yes.
would be really amazing.
Yes, and we work very, very hard on doing that as well.
Okay.
And we have some
He's
that
gonna
do. We do.
present in
We do.
January on the whole program.
I assume, in your January presentation will be pretty thorough. I would really like, I don't know if it's part of it, but I'm very curious to see what are some of the tricks and strategies that we found to be extremely successful. You can't completely replicate it, but there are definitely some things that could be applicable to a typical school day and regular classroom instruction.
Well, and some of those things we already have adapted, to be
Yeah.
honest with you, Erica, because one of the things that we did is, when I started that night school program, I brought in Edgenuity, which is an online coursework. And so that's been a big game changer. It really has helped a lot at the high school because then we've taken that and put that into some study halls and then allowed students to use that as credit recovery. So if you're behind, instead of taking a study hall class, I think they've even fine-tuned it even a little bit better since then. But it's basically the same concept is, instead of going to study hall, I'm gonna use that time to take an online course because maybe I failed a course, and so now I can make that credit up without having to go to summer school. It's not gonna cost me anything. So there's a lot of advantages to that. So we've taken some of those things already from night school, implemented that into the high school day program and into Dr. Harris's program at Lake in his alternative day program, because those students take online courses there as well.
That's great.
So we've already kind
It's
of
been really nice.
tried to, stay ahead and offer those things to students, because as long as those kids see a light at the end of the tunnel,
Yes, that's.
they'll
That's
keep
the
coming,
key.
they'll keep working, and that's what you have
They
to do.
have to
You
have hope.
you have to let them see that there is an end in sight. That they can go on, get that diploma, and then go to the next step.
Exactly. And to
So
meet them
it's-
where they are, it's
Yes.
huge.
Yep.
Great.
Once
Fantastic.
again,
Thank you.
thank you so much. I look forward to January on that too.
Appreciate that. Item number 11D, Director of Information Systems Student Services Enrollment, Brad Irvay, to talk about buses.
Okay, I'm gonna intro this one. They came in the one day, cause it's terrible. The transportation situation, the crisis was the worst thing I've ever had to face educationally. And I have such a team, everybody gave input. It wasn't one person, it wasn't just Mr. Hervey talking. We had every single person at the Board Office Administration, to mention some of the building admin, have had input on this, and we could not have done it without everyone. So I want to hand that off to Brad, because he pretty much led the team and was here a lot of late nights. We all were, so take it away, Mr. Hervey.
All right, everybody, so this has been the most exciting time of transportation in history. And handed this over to me. So what we had is, we started the school year off running full routes, and then we started losing a number of bus drivers along the way, as you guys know, due to just, COVID situations, contract negotiations between the bus company and the drivers. And so we found ourselves, we're actually losing more bus drivers than we're bringing in. So we had to make the, rash decision to kind of cut routes. And that was, no one ever wanted to do that. And unfortunately, we're starting to see that in other school districts. They're kind of following the lead of what we've done to make those adjustments. We're luckily on the other side coming back. So we have been in place to start hiring some bus drivers back. We finally got back to full stride with all regular ed bus routes. We're still missing a few bus routes that we've kind of picked apart and made people squeeze in to kind of fit. And we're looking to get those back here shortly as well. So hopefully by the new year, we are looking about going full stride ahead with the same amount of bus drivers that we began the year with. The main problem that we still have to face is getting back to the place we were 2 years ago, where the way we kind of explain it is a 3-tier system where each bus a 2-tier, so each bus would actually drop off at 2 locations. Currently, we're at a 3-tier where each bus drops off at 3 locations. And you're talking about a 50-minute time route between pickup and drop-off, so every school has got to be staggered 50 minutes. So when you're doing that, that's why we discussed the fact that school times have been a little bit different than what they've historically been, because we haven't been able to stagger them like we have this year. We had to stagger them out 3 times. So we're still probably about 22 bus drivers short. We just met with the bus company today. We met with the CEO as well. And we're trying to find different communication avenues. Chris Mitchell has been amazing. It's the only time in history I can ever remember we've been on the news probably 8 times in a row, and it's been for just all positives. They come to us looking for answers all the time. They love talking to our group. Chris has got a great connection. Steffi's got a great connection to them. And so we're really making strides moving forward. We're hoping that the new year, with everybody wanting maybe Christmas money and trying to get back, we're starting to get some new employees. So we're getting there. It's still a little slow. It's not perfect yet. Hopefully we continue to grow and we can get back to our original base with the 22 that we're missing now. But I do have to admit that everybody in our district has led to help. I would like to take all the credit, but it's far from that. I mean, everybody has chipped in. Everybody has said their piece. Everybody's kind of helped out to try to get where we are. And unfortunately, there were some very hard decisions moving forward, and we had to make them, but we're now finally coming back. And we've had a lot of positive reviews for that, through the news and everybody else. So we're getting there. We're slowly getting there, but it's better than what we've been. So this is the good note.
I think I just want to add that, we met with the CEO today of Illinois Central, and he focused and praised us in particular for our collaboration. Sure, we could say it's the bus company's problem, they need to fix it, but it was our problem too.
Yeah.
So I have to give Chris Mitchell a huge kudos for pretty much running our recruitment campaign on our end. They did what they could, but he knew so much more about how to do that. They didn't really have a communications person, because their model of business is changing too right in the middle of this. So he really picked up, and they recognized that today and said, you did a lot of our job for us. So he did a great job getting us on the news, trying to be ready, he had a drone even the other day, So going from the negative comments we had to make to the positive news coverage really helped to get a spike in applications as well. So great job to everybody. I am just so happy to have all our students back where they should be in school.
It's fantastic. It's been a long road to get here, and again, kudos to everybody, the entire administration and everyone that pitched in here and did what they needed to do to get it done. And thanks also to Madison County Transit.
Oh, I wanted to
S.J.
say that.
Morrison.
I'm gonna
yes.
send them some donuts coming up. Seriously, they did almost 100 students. And it was a great way for kids, the older kids especially, to get to school. Grigsby students, which were very difficult, I think they had at least 20 that every day. And I think some of the kids even said, wow, our buses aren't like this. So they loved that they were air conditioned, nice inside. And so I'm like, don't get too used to this. We really, really, really appreciate the community too, people that carpooled, just in the police department, the city of Granite City, all helping us with issues we had at Grigsby too. I mean, literally, it was a village or a city in this case who really came together to make all that work in the time of need. So we're just really thrilled to be able to have that kind of support for the community.
I also want to reach out and say thank you to, as of tomorrow, Kit Gitcho, the owner of that area that's right across from CVS, is going to let us begin parking a bus there, which is the biggest four-way stop in Granite City. And we're going to be able to put a bus and get some people out there to let us. He gave us the spot so we can actually start advertising a little bit more at the location. So I do want to say thank you to him as well.
Thank you for Brad. That happened today. I'm sorry I forgot that. It's really important. We really appreciate that.
Very good. Hopefully we can get there, and I know we got some more bus drivers to get hired, but to get back to full,
22.
22 bus drivers, yeah?
And to be able to build on what we've accomplished.
Oh, and so many people have stepped up. We had an interview with a mom who came back after she's been at home. I mean, just the community members who have really stepped up to help in this situation was really wonderful.
So parents that are out there that still
Yeah.
think that this crisis is over,
It's not over.
it's not over yet, and we still need you to consider becoming a bus driver.
Yes, there we go.
Bring it on.
We take donuts pretty often.
Thank you again, Mr. Irving, appreciate it.
Thank you, Mr. Irving.
Item number 11E, Treasurer's Report, that's on hand. We have several reports there that are for information only. And with that, before we go to executive session, have I missed anything tonight? I think we got everything covered? All right, I will take a motion to go into executive session here shortly. We are going in under exception noted under 5 ILCS 120-2 open meetings for student disciplinary matters. That's 2C9 for expulsions.
So moved.
Second. Go ahead.
All those in favor?
Aye.
And we are in executive session.